everyone, so glad you're back. We're on at Maiora again. I'm Sarah, you know that, and today I'd like to talk about a few Italian words that are often used in English, British English and American English, and I've noticed that a lot of people talk about this topic on social media, etc. And I explain the meaning of these words, but often they don't explain the difference between the pronunciation in English and what the right pronunciation should be in Italian, which is quite funny, really. And so it's interesting to understand these words better, but it's also interesting for native speakers to see how differently these words sound in Italian. Let's start with the first one. This word here, which is pronounced, as you can see, in two different ways in the UK and the States. It's 40 in the UK. I'm trying to pronounce it trying to do my best. Of course, I am not a native speaker, and it is 40 in 40, open O, in American English. But in Italian, this word, which means exactly the same thing, which is something that is your strength, your strong point, as in this case, talking in public is not my forte. Okay, so talking in public is not my strong point, is not my, I'm quite weak, okay, in that field. We use this word with the same meaning in Italian, but we pronounce it forte. Ok, forte. Talking in public should be parlare in pubblico, non è il mio forte. So it is a bit different, and it is also an adjective in Italian. It means strong, okay? We don't use it just in order to mean, in order to express my strong point or my strength, but it is also an adjective. I can say you are forte, it means you are strong, okay? So the pronunciation is different, but there is a similar meaning. This word here, very common, very common, because all of us, of course, we all follow TV series, movies, and so on, and we know that the last episode of the season or the series is called the season finale or the series finale. Have you seen the series finale? The British pronunciation is finale, and the American pronunciation is finale, so the R is a bit different, okay? This is finale, the other one is finale, but that's almost the same. In Italian, it is finale, the E at the end is pronounced as E, okay? This is an E sound, and the meaning is almost the same. It means the conclusion, the ending. It could be the ending of a movie, of a book, or anything else. It can be also the last episode of whatever we're watching. It can also be the last match, talking about sports, maybe at the end of the championship, the last match, the final match is la finale, okay? But it's finale, it's not finale, okay? But the meaning is almost the same. Now, this one here is quite funny because it's used a lot, and I know you pronounce that bravo. This is the pronunciation. This is obviously International Phonetic Alphabet, okay? Because I think it's quite international, obviously, and so it's easier for you to see the right pronunciation. Bravo. In Italian, it's bravo, and it means that you're good at something. It's perfectly fine and correct to use it as an exclamation when we are clapping our hands and we're saying bravo and we are cheering. We can do that. Bravo, which is the Italian pronunciation, is used only for one person when that person is a man. Okay, so you can't say bravo to me because I'm a woman. Okay, you should say brava. With a final A, brava. And you can't use this for many people, for plural. If you're talking about a group of people, men and women together, you say bravi, bravi. And if it's a group of people and there are only women in that group, you will say brave. So there are 4 possibilities in Italian. Bravo for a man, brava for a woman, bravi for a group of men and women eventually, brave, only women. There are 4 different possibilities. The first 3 are the most used. So that's quite funny, because when we say someone clapping their hands and say bravo and they're talking to a ballerina, this is quite funny. Okay, then another example here, fiasco, fiasco. Fiasco, this is the pronunciation, almost the same pronunciation as the O in bravo, because it's almost the same sound in English, and it's the same sound in Italian too, because the right pronunciation is fiasco. And yes, it is also, the meaning is the same. The movie was a fiasco. It means that it was a failure, basically. Funny thing is that, it's a fun fact, that fiasco means also another thing. It's a special bottle of wine, basically. It's not really a bottle. Bottle shouldn't be the right pronunciation, because it's got a very specific shape, like a sort of a beer. Okay, that's a fiasco. So it's something where you put wine. Then, and this is interesting. Have you ever heard capiche? Capiche, which should mean, do you understand? Or just right? Or just okay? You're asking, at that point, you're asking for the other person to agree with you, basically. Because he has no other choice, so it's quite assertive. This is the word in Italian. This is how it is often spelled in English, capiche? This is quite funny. And the final E is not pronounced, capiche? This is the pronunciation, usually. And I don't know why the final E isn't pronounced, but I got an idea. I think that this was kind of taken from movies and dialects. And in movies, especially a few years ago, the representation of Italy was... or better, okay, we can see that the environment they represented was often connected to mafia and all the stuff there. And so there was this sort of a gangster language, okay, the capiche was something quite assertive, almost aggressive. Now, I'm not saying it's aggressive anymore, but certainly it's not kind. And probably this is why it is used with this intention today. And it is also pronounced that way because it's more similar to dialects. But in Italy it's not, it is capisci, and it's absolutely not impolite, or it's absolutely not aggressive. All right, obviously it depends on my intonation when I'm talking, and my intention. Of course, it can be aggressive. Capisci? This is obviously not kind, but I can say it also when I'm telling you something sad. I'm telling you that I have troubles. Capisci? And I'm almost asking for your help, your understanding. Or I'm just maybe at school, I'm teaching something, and I ask capisci, talking to my students. So this is absolutely. You can use it in a variety of ways in Italian. In English, not so much. So this is quite difficult. This is quite different, sorry. And you often spell it like this, which is so funny. I kind of like it because it's more similar to the pronunciation rather than the Italian one. Then this one, vista. Vista is the Italian pronunciation, of course. Vista is quite similar. Just the final A is a bit different, but It's not that different, and the meaning is absolutely the same. So vista is what you see, okay, out of the window, for example. What a wonderful vista, so you're watching a wonderful landscape or something, so it's quite similar. Let's go to the final one, which is scenario. Scenario is, of course, the English pronunciation. It's not the Italian pronunciation. This is the English transcription, phonetic transcription, scenario. This is final. This final sound here is the same as in bravo e fiasco. So, oh, bravo, fiasco, scenario. In Italian, the pronunciation is scenario, scenario, scenario. With a sh at the beginning, it should be like sh, okay, and it's a scenario, o, and the final o, as in the other two cases. It's kind of funny because I'm here teaching people how to mispronounce Italian words. That's quite funny for an Italian teacher, but I like it. The use of the word is almost the same because it's used to represent a situation or something that can happen in the future, something I imagine, circumstances in general. It is also used when you talk about the plot, maybe, of a movie, a book. You can talk about the scenario, so the scene basically, and what's going on at the moment, but most of the times you use it in a figurative way. In fact, this is a very common sentence. That's the worst case scenario. So it's the worst scenario possible, basically, and we do use it in the same way, more or less, but yeah, the pronunciation is really different. So it could be that if you say these words and Italian people is listening or hearing, they probably won't understand because it's a very different pronunciation, even if the use is quite similar. Move away from here so you can eventually write down the words, especially probably the pronunciations. It's, as I said before, it's quite funny because I use these words on a daily basis with a completely different pronunciation, and it's kind of funny because yeah, we use a lot of English words too, and we pronounce them Italian people pronounce them in a very wrong way too. And when you know the right pronunciation, you're kind of uncertain because you say, okay, should I use the usual Italian pronunciation or should I try and use the correct one, but maybe I can sound a bit snobbish, or that I just want to show out and show that I can speak English, and so you kind of decide to pick a middle pronunciation, half Italian, half English. That's quite funny. I mean, it's a daily challenge for those who speak more than one language. I mean, all right, I hope it was fun, okay, because it's probably useful, but certainly it's more fun. If you have any question, please ask me, and if you want me to do the same for words concerning food, we can do that, but I know that you find a lot of that on the internet, on lasagna alla bolognese, e pasta, e pizza, and so on and so on. So that's nothing new, but anyway, if you want me to do that, I will do it for sure. Thank you so very much for following. See you again very soon here on at Maiora for my English classes, German classes, literature classes, and live streams, of course. Thank you again so much. See ya!